So what would that be under visit?
It is.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing the link for assignment 1 and like the meeting links.
Let's see where I see it.
So click pre-visit requirements. And then it says complete the following. Review the patient case, and then we have to identify the concerns and then 2 recommendations.
Okay. Yeah, no, that was not what I originally saw. Okay. But yeah, I can come up with something for the ADLs and IADLs. All right, so let's get rid of this. So all right, so we obviously can recommend for her, since she had lose weight but still needs to lose more, to be recommended for the surgery that may alleviate her pain. Recommend basic exercises for that, even though it says sedentary, but could even try to come up with any movements that she could do seated, possibly. And I could just find a pain scale to decipher where her pain is exactly, or the degree. And just how that's affecting her ADLs overall.
So should we start with the ADLs first?
We could do that and could ask details about
Because
her life in that sense.
yeah, her left knee pain, like for her metabolic syndrome, like the main thing that we were talking about is like that probably weight loss is like the best thing for the patient in this case. But if the patient has left knee pain and can't really move very well and can't exercise, then we're kind of like between a rock and a hard place right there. So
I mean, you could also take the spin of altering diet and more diet education and how to grocery shop and do all that, because they could have the groceries delivered, all that kind of thing.
And there's like a financial burden too that's playing a part.
I think what we could do is kind of ease into the physical activity that we were talking about, Kev.
Yeah.
So have Emily work with her on the knee pain and then slowly build up to be able to partake in one of these programs that you and I had discussed. So it might actually be best, like you were saying, to do that first, and like rework the visit so that we go over the recent fall. So
definitely safety concerns would be an issue here and definitely should be discussed, since I saw that, yeah, there was a fall recently when they were trying to get up. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So we can move that. So we'll start with Emily talking about the recent fall and the left knee pain, the ADLs, the safety issues, the fall risk. And then for 3, that's kind of like dentistry. We're kind of short-staffed today. We were thinking just saying like that's the expertise of a dentist. Like we ourselves are not comfortable in managing that, but one of her main issues is that she can't afford dental care. So we know of some free clinics in the local area that offer dental care. So we thought like maybe we can refer her to one of these to get her started in the right direction.
Even the school, like UDM, School of Dentistry, a lot of times that they'll provide care for free. So that's another option. Kev, if you think, no, never mind. So I'll jot that down though.
Yeah, I was just mentioning that because the reason why she has like the left jaw pain and the tooth is because of the recent fall. Like she hit her.
Yeah, I
jaw
did
with
see
the
it
table.
hitting her chin.
So I just thought it would be like a smoother transition if you mentioned it like at the end. Just like, and also like regarding your fall, we saw that you hit your left jaw on the table, and then just say like, we would have liked to have had a dentist here with us today, but unfortunately we couldn't, and then recommend them for dental care.
All right.
Cool.
So that'll be at the end. Okay.
Anything else?
So who wants to do the introduction? I can do the closing because I'll finish with the last two.
I'll do the intro. I don't
Do the
mind doing
intro.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So what I'll do is I'll welcome Courtney. I'll give my intro and then I'll wait for you two to give your intros, just name, credentials. So like student at this in this program, and you're the role of a medical student, OT, your pronouns. I don't think we need to do language preference, but
No.
and then once you guys are done with that, then I'll take over again and run through the intro on this Google Doc. And then Emily, once we address any concerns or questions from that intro, you'll address the recent fall and left knee pain and the dental. Then I'll do metabolic syndrome. Then Kevin does the depression screen and education about advanced directive, and then the closing.
So you want me to talk about dentistry right after my part about the fall risk and ADL, or do you want me to mention that toward the end after your guys' stuff?
I think we should just like whatever like feels natural for you. Like if the patient like at some point says like, oh, I hit my left jaw, and then that's like a natural point to talk about dental care and stuff like that. So, but I just like didn't like. Obviously, it would have been much better if we had the dentist on our team. But since we don't, we really don't have the expertise to like talk about it specifically. But I felt like we should still like at least like mention it and like refer her to dentistry if possible. So, all right.
All right, let's give everybody like a minute or two just to collect their thoughts, and then we can ask Miss Jameson to join us. All right, are you guys ready?
Yep.
Hi, Miss Jameson.
I'm Courtney Grimes.
Okay,
Good morning.
good morning. So we wanted to welcome you here to the meeting. I'm Michael Brennan. I'm a medical student at Wayne State. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm going to be assuming the role of medical student 1 today.
All right.
Hi, my name is Kevin, Kevin Kim. I'm also a medical student at Wayne State University School of Medicine. I use the he, him pronouns, and today I'll be assuming the role of medical student number 2.
Hi, I'm
Okay.
Emily Phillips. I am assuming the role of OT student today at Wayne State University. My pronouns are she, her. Nice to meet you.
It's good to meet all of you this morning.
So I just wanted to confirm your name, Courtney Grimes, and you are 63 years old. And how would you like to be addressed today?
Ms. Grimes is fine.
I'm sorry, it broke up. Could you?
Ms. Grimes is fine.
Okay, thank you, Miss Grimes. Before we start, I'd like to make sure that you're in a safe area and you can speak openly.
I am.
All right, thank you, Miss Grimes. So I want you to know that everything that we discuss today is confidential, and we're also using HIPAA compliant and encrypted technology. So everything that we discuss is protected and private, and we are not recording this. We received your past and current medical history and lab results. And as a team, we wanted to ask you some questions to get a better understanding of your health needs. We also want to provide you with some recommendations and address any concerns you might have. We want to ultimately improve your quality of life. Does that sound all right?
I hope you're able to do that. Thank you. Yes, that's fine.
All right. So, Ms. Grimes, do you have any questions or concerns you want to address before we begin?
Oh my, I have so many. Of course, my primary purpose is to receive the reports based on the tests that were run a couple of months ago. But then I had a fall, what was that, about 10 days ago? And I ended up going to urgent care because it felt as if I might have broken my jaw. It hurt so badly. They did run tests, took x-rays, and determined that I had not broken anything, but it seems as if a tooth in that same area that has been a problem for a couple of years, seems to me is loose as I push it with my tongue. And I'm more susceptible these past few days to sensitivity to heat and cold. So that's a new word that I didn't have when I was tested with you guys. But just overall, my knees are a source of problem, and I consulted with an orthopedic surgeon. That was about 6 months ago, and he had said that we couldn't move forward until I lost 25 pounds. Well, I have called myself trying to do that, but instead I've gained, and I'm feeling a lot of discouragement about that, along with a lot of discouragement just about my mental attitude in general. I'm not my normal self since COVID hit, and I've always enjoyed reading and doing word puzzles, things of that sort. Don't have any interest at all. I don't know the last time I picked up a book. I don't do my crosswords and word searches at all. And I'm feeling badly about it, but I just don't have any motivation. Just a few of the things that are worrying me.
No, I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Grimes. We'll definitely, you know, take a look at all of those and try and find solutions and make sure that you leave feeling better than when you came here. So
Well, I look
I
forward
think
to some suggestions from you.
so. Ms. Grimes, I think I'm the first one up to talk to you today. You obviously mentioned that you recently had a fall and have some knee pain from that, correct?
I do.
And is it just
Jaw
the
pain.
left and jaw pain? Is it primarily the left knee that's bothering you, or is it both knees?
Is it primarily what?
Your left knee, or is it both knees?
Oh, regarding the knee, it's the left knee primarily, but
Okay.
the fall's related to the jaw problem.
Okay. So, how extreme do you say that your knee pain and jaw pain are on a daily basis? I know they're two different things, but your overall pain experience daily on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, the knee progresses through the day because I'm on my feet at work a lot, and it gets pretty bad by the end of the day. The jaw pain is probably maybe 4, 5 on that scale that you guys use, but mm, for the knee, it varies so through the day. I really can't put a number on it.
Okay. So, what are some basic things that you do every day? I know you mentioned that you used to spend time reading and crossword puzzles, but not so much anymore. Is there anything else that you do throughout the day?
Not really. I do work. I am at
You
work
work?
until, yes, I'm at work until 5:36. And once I come home, the routine is prepare meals, um, maybe have some time for conversation with my husband, look at TV for a while, get to bed, prepare for work for tomorrow, and get to bed by about 9:30 because I have to be there, leave at about 5:15. So I'm sorry, I'm up at about 5 or 5:15. And that's pretty much it. It's really, really not like it used to be because some of that time in the evening I would have spent reading. Even break time I would have been maybe working on word puzzles. Not anymore.
So, would you say that your pain is affecting your change in normal activities, your attitude and everything since COVID that's altered what you do in your daily life?
It seemed that COVID sort of triggered that, but I really can't attribute it to pain. I'm pain. The
Okay.
reading doesn't hurt my knee, and the jaw does not. The jaw just really had not been an ongoing problem. Although I needed the dental attention a couple of years ago that I haven't had. Um, the jaw is just a new event, so that didn't have anything to do with it. I really can't pinpoint what caused my loss of interest.
All right. So, unfortunately, I know you keep mentioning your jaw pain, and we unfortunately don't have a dental student here today, someone that could give you more specific information about that, because that's obviously not our field specialty. But I
Mhm.
know with the tooth pain and jaw pain, I'm sure that there could be dietary changes, eating some different foods and things like that, that may be able to help with that, along with diet changes, just until it could receive care for that to try to manage that. Um, but I know since you had a fall recently, something I should discuss with you is I don't know if what setup you have in your home for any kind of safety precautions, if you have any kind of railings in your house, if you have secure floor mats or no floor mats at all, or if you've ever used a cane, or if your husband helps you around the house, or how you move around throughout the whole day.
Well, it didn't occur at my house. I was at a friend's house, and I really was not moving around that much. I was just getting up from a chair. And somehow or another, I tangled my feet up. And the next thing I knew, my chin was hitting the coffee table. It didn't entail, I wouldn't have had time to have used a cane if I did. I do not use a cane generally, but well, I don't use a cane, period. But a cane would not have been helpful because all I was doing was standing up.
So you felt that your fall was more an isolated incident. You don't have lack of stability walking around or anything like that, or standing or normally getting up from a chair.
Not ordinarily, no. No, I think it
Okay.
was a one-off situation.
Okay.
So as Emily had mentioned, you know, we don't have a dental student here to help us, but there are some local free clinics that we can give you some information about. And I know that, you know, one, for example, is free dental care at the local dental school. So we can give you some more information regarding that in a follow-up email if you would like. But one of your main concerns was your lab results. And uh, what I've seen is that some of the numbers are a little out of whack. Um, Nothing that we can't get a control over. But what was mentioned in the patient note was that you are extremely good about taking your diabetes medication. However, from time to time, you miss your hypertension medication. And I was wondering if there's any rhyme or reason as to why.
I just forget some days.
Okay, so it's not because of any adverse effects or you know, maybe it upsets your stomach, nothing like that. Just sometimes it just slips your
No,
mind.
nothing like that. No.
Okay. Um, do you have like a set routine for taking your medications? Do you use like a pill organizer, or just kind of when you see the bottle, you remember to take it?
No, I don't have a real routine set up. I don't use an organizer. No, I figured the original containers are sufficient, but I guess I could benefit from a little bit more routine instead of just randomly taking it because some of the medication's in the bathroom and some's in the bedroom.
Right. So I think that would be a pretty good way to start in terms of your hypertension medications. Another thing you mentioned that raised some concern for me is that you have been trying to lose weight, yet you've caught yourself gaining weight. So I was wondering what kind of things you've changed since the change in weight.
Well, I'm really not sure what I've changed that would account for that. We have done a pretty good job of reducing our red meat intake. And I know that that's a help, or I've read that it's supposed to be a help. The other thing that we've done is tried to increase our vegetables and fruits, fresh vegetables particularly. But the thing about that is availability. In our neighborhood, there isn't a lot of variety available, and it gets boring to eat the same stuff every day. And I really can't account for how unless it has to do with the fact that all I'm doing is watching TV.
Yeah, no, I understand that, and especially with COVID, um, we've seen a drastic decrease in physical activity. You add your recent falling knee pain, and that's just a compounding effect. So it just gets worse. Um, I think that once we get your knee pain under control with Emily's help, there are a lot of great opportunities for you to socialize, and get some physical activity in as well. Um, One such program, not necessarily a program, but more of like a social group, is a walking group in the mall. What's great about this walking group is that you're indoors. There are free bathrooms. There are water fountains along the mall. It's climate controlled. You're protected from uh, all the elements of the environment. So once we get that left knee pain under control, I think that's something that would be really great for you. Um, and I think if we also add like a pill organizer, so that we make sure that we're sticking to our regimen of taking our medications when we need to. I think these are both great ways to help. What are your thoughts, Mrs. Grimes?
Yeah, I know about the mall walking. I just never thought about not doing it. Maybe that would be encouraging if if I did it with other people.
Yeah, and there's a little sense of accountability there too. And once you make friends, obviously the first time of doing anything is the hardest, but getting there and being consistent, making new friends, stopping for a coffee afterwards, um, just a great way to get out, get active, and hopefully, you know, get that weight down too.
Well, I certainly need to do that because I need something done with these knees, and I don't. I've just been unhappy with myself having watched my weight go up instead of preparing myself for the potential surgery.
Right. And I think Kevin can take over here and talk about your feelings and how you're handling this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So hi, Miss Grimes. Thank you for your patience. So I kind of want to talk more about what you mentioned earlier with COVID and how you felt like with the start of COVID, you noticed yourself not doing the activities that you enjoyed before. Um, I see that in your medical chart that you've mentioned that you've had some difficulty falling asleep recently. Although, like when you are able to fall asleep, you're able to sleep through the night, but you have an issue initially falling asleep. Um, and I just kind of wanted to go back to the start of COVID and ask you, um, like, what are some things that changed with the start of COVID and how it affected your life?
That's a good question. We were so isolated. My mother lives not too far from me, but I was apprehensive about going to visit her because I work and I'm around other people, and she's elderly up in her 80s, and I was concerned that I would possibly infect her. So we avoided getting together like we normally would do. Now that's improved. Recently, I've been back visiting with her, and I go over and help her with things around the house that she needs help with, and just visit her. But we were without that contact for such a while. And then my children both live out of town. My daughter's in Atlanta, And thank goodness she can fly and we can fly again. And we have been able to visit a bit. But there for a while, we couldn't visit back and forth, nor could my son. He lives in Cleveland. And he and his family used to drive over pretty often, or we would drive over, my husband and I, and visit with them. And therefore, during COVID, of course, that was not something we were able to do. So that sort of was a downer. And then just general activities you didn't have the opportunity to do. I did miss a lot. But now that COVID restrictions are lifted, I still am not particularly interested. Like I said, I'm visiting with family more, but the other things that we used to do, I'm just not interested in doing.
Yeah, so this is a very common, story that we've heard from a lot of patients during the pandemic, especially if you have loved ones who are elderly and you can't visit them, or in the case of your children, they live out of state and we were so restricted with travel for so many months. Would you say that though, with things opening up again, that even though you're not necessarily doing the things you've enjoyed before more often again, but would you say your general mood has been improving?
I think so. Yes, since we've had the opportunity to get back to a little bit of normalcy, um, I really have enjoyed the opportunity to be back with the visitations and that sort of thing. But it's the daily activities that I used to participate in that I miss, but I think about I should go to the library and
Mm-hmm.
don't move, take action on it.
Yeah, so definitely with some of the restrictions being lifted, you should definitely take advantage of that. I think one of the things that you mentioned with the exercise was that you were having a hard time feeling motivated to work out at home. And that's actually a very, very common thing. It's very difficult to find the motivation to work out by yourselves. There's been a lot of studies that have shown that working out in a social environment really gives you that boost of motivation. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to recommend that mall walking program, because it'll get you back out in the community and engaged with other people. So hopefully we can get your knees feeling a lot better so that you can take part in programs like that. Moving on, would it be okay if we took some time to answer some questions about your mood so that we have a better understanding about your mental health?
Go right ahead.
All right. So I'm going to ask you several questions, 9 in total. You let me know over the last 2 weeks if you've um, experienced any of these following questions that I'm going to mention shortly. I want you to rate them from a scale of 0 to 3, 0 being none at all, 1 being several days over the last 2 weeks, 2 being more than half the days over the last 2 weeks, and 3 being nearly every day. Do you have any questions before we start?
One again was what?
Over the last 2 weeks, if you have not experienced any of these following things, you rate it a 0. If it's
Okay.
several days over the last 2 weeks, rate it a 1. If it's more than half the days over the last 2 weeks, rate it a 2. And if it's nearly every day, rate it a 3. Is that clear? Okay.
All
So
right.
number 1, you've experienced little interest or pleasure in doing things.
Almost every day is 4.
A 3.
3, I'm sorry.
Yep.
3. Yes. 3.
Have you been feeling down, depressed, or hopeless?
Oh no, 0. I don't feel depressed. No.
Okay. Have you been having trouble falling asleep, staying asleep, or sleeping too much?
Now I'm apprehensive about answering that because I've had trouble falling asleep frequently, but once I fall asleep, I never have trouble remaining. I can sleep through always. So that's hard to answer.
All right. Have you been feeling tired or having little energy?
Recently, that would be a 3.
Have you experienced a poor appetite or overeating?
Zero.
Have you been feeling bad about yourself or feeling that you're a failure or that you have let yourself or your family down?
1.
Have you had trouble concentrating on things such as reading the newspaper or watching television?
Well, it's probably a 1.
How about, have you noticed yourself moving or speaking so slowly that other people could have noticed? Or the opposite, like being so fidgety or restless that you've been moving around a lot more than usual?
0.
0. And have you had any thoughts that you would be better off dead or hurting yourself in some way?
0.
0. All right. So based on the findings place you at in a mild category for depression severity. So for now, we recommend that we just wait and keep an eye on things. If possible, at a follow-up visit in the future, we would like to repeat this questionnaire to keep track of some of your depressive symptoms. But for now, we recommend that we just continue to watch it. But I think one positive thing is that you did mention that your mood has been improving overall with restrictions opening back up and being able to do more of some of the activities that you weren't able to during the pandemic. So we'll just keep an eye on it for now. But I know this is a difficult topic to talk about, but thank you for your patience in answering all these questions. We want to make sure that not just your physical health, but your mental health is taken care of as well. So,
Well, I'd like to get to the bottom of all these things. So
yeah.
being cooperative is something I need to do.
You're doing a great job. Thank you so much. So finally, to end, kind of going away from some of the health issues that you mentioned and more about something that we just noticed in your chart, it said that you didn't really know much about advanced directives. And I was wondering if we could spend some time just kind of talking about what an advanced directive is.
Go right ahead.
All right, so advanced directives are legal documents that provide instructions for medical care if you cannot communicate your own wishes. So in the case that there's like an emergency and you're unconscious, an advanced directive that you provide while you're still capable to speak and give directions will kind of coordinate the medical care that you receive. So some examples would include like a living will, or if you appoint someone, which would be like a durable power of attorney, you would appoint someone to make medical decisions on your behalf if you reach a state where you are not able to communicate with us, the medical team. We don't have to make any decisions today. I just wanted to let you know what they are. And I also want to reassure you that we are not bringing this up because we feel like your life is in imminent danger. We actually recommend that all patients, even young patients in their 20s, have some sort of plan in place just in case, because we never know when an unforeseen event could happen, and we're left with a situation where the patient's unconscious, and we, at all times, we want to provide the care that the patient would want if they were able to communicate, and the best care for the patient and their families in general. So, like I said, we don't have to make any decisions today. I just kind of want to, give you an idea of what it is, and maybe you could start thinking about if you do end up in such a situation, what you and your family members would want in that kind of situation. And when you're ready to have that conversation, please let us know so that we can, work on getting all the documents organized so that we can have the advance directive in place.
Okay.
All right. So I think that's all that we had on our agenda today. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us. We look forward to, after we leave the visit, working together to address your health concerns. In addition, at the end, we will provide you with the written document that summarizes your visit. Would it be okay if we send that summary via email?
I would appreciate it because we've talked about so many things. I know I won't remember all the details we covered.
Could you provide an email address?
It should be in my chart.
In your chart, okay.
Yes.
Let me just make sure. Do we see the email address?
I don't see it in
should be there.
in the patient case.
Well, I can give it to you.
Yeah, could you
It's
provide that for us?
C Grimes 59 at gmail.com.
All right. So thank you again. Before we leave, do you have any other remaining questions for me, Michael, or Emily?
No, I think you've covered things very comprehensively. I do have, let me back up, Emily's, your area of specialty.
Yes. So my area of specialty in occupational therapy is either pain
That's it,
management,
just
mobility.
OT. That's enough.
Okay.
OT is enough. Okay, thank you. All right, then that's all I need.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you. It was so good to be with you this morning.
Have a wonderful
Likewise.
day.
All right, so we have post visit. It said like 30 minutes.
Yeah. So I think we have 3 surveys, and then the visit agenda, which we just need a copy and paste, basically.
Right.
Do we have to send an email like last time?
I
I'm
don't
not sure.
so. We weren't told about sending an email like last time. I just think it was all the assignments submitting through Canvas is what I was told.
Last time when we did one of these, like we actually sent like an email
Oh,
to
really?
this fake patient. But
But last time it wasn't
yeah, it was a
like
real
a role.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see the post.
Yeah. I guess that's
It
true.
says
Maybe we did send an
complete
email last time
assignment
because we
1.
had real patients. I don't think we would this time because they're gonna have all of our assignment information versus it being like a real patient.
Oh, so we just have to do assignment 1, visit agenda, and then patient care plan. Yeah, and a reflection response. What's the reflection response?
And plus, if we're only submitting one, I don't know how we're, or if each of us want to write a few sentence reflection and then combine it. Like,
Yeah,
I just don't know how a reflection is supposed to go.
identify and explain a minimum of 2 lessons your team learned about collaborations. Oh, okay. So we just have to respond to the following prompts.
Okay.
Should we do the reflection now or just like make a very brief outline? Because that's the only thing like we really need to
Yeah,
do together.
let's do it since
Yeah.
we're all together.
So
We got
just
time.
let's just use um the visit agenda just like at the bottom.
And it was lessons that we learned.
Yeah, there's question number 1, explain the advantages and challenges of working as a team to provide care for the patient. I think like the advantages, like obviously just having someone with expertise that you don't have, like when you were talking about like the ADLs and like the pain, like we get some of that, but like
Yeah, not in depthly.
yeah, not in
Well,
that.
for example, I don't know about you, Kevin, but when she talked about like safety measures that the patient has in place, like my
Mhm.
mind didn't go there, and
Mhm.
her
Mhm.
mind went there immediately, right? Like, do you have a ramp? You know, do you have handles? You know, that got me thinking. Do you have like handles in your bathtub? Do you need a cane? Is your house, you know, like I don't know, handicap friendly? Um,
Mhm.
you know, we think a lot about like medication
Mhm.
and physical therapy, but like not, at least my mind didn't go there.
Yeah. It was just hard in that little time span, figuring out there were so many more things that I wanted to say, but obviously couldn't say them all. But yeah, you guys obviously know the medication, the chemistry in-depth side of it that we don't really know. We just know some of the basic adverse effects and elements like that. So
And what's like a challenge? Was it the time restriction for you? Like,
I would say so because like I wanted to do so many different things in that short span of time. Like I wanted to talk to her more about the pain management, but I was trying to decipher the different kinds of pain and trying to do too much.
mhm. Mhm. Explain how the team optimized their ability to function during the visit. Is that just the pre-visit?
Yeah, so I'd say, yeah, just going over the pre-visit, kind of having a uh, delegation of concerns. So
And we,
organization.
yeah, I feel like the plan that we developed had a decent flow. We weren't jumping over to multiple different categories. It had a nice comprehensive flow to it.
Explain any barriers that hinder the team from accomplishing the visit agenda. So again, like time constriction.
That we just
Yeah,
had
I'd say
dental
being
student. She
remote.
kept mentioning her tooth and jaw pain.
Okay. Time constriction. Not having all
All
the
roles, all
disciplines
roles filled.
represented.
Yeah,
Presented.
and then I think being remote. Um,
Why being remote? Just
Well, so there's a lot of body language that you miss. Like for example, transitions between roles and between topics being discussed. When you're in person, you can see someone naturally kind of back off. And then also, I think there's more learning and more understanding of dynamics in person.
hmm,
I also would
identify.
say,
Oh, sorry.
oh, sorry,
Go ahead.
that like in person, since her knee pain was a big thing, and the fact that I couldn't like see her knees or like see her stand or move around anything like that was definitely hard.
Then identify and explain a minimum of 2 lessons your team learned about collaboration, ability to function as a team. I don't know. I think one thing was how much we missed dentistry today, like we mentioned earlier. I think social work, having a social worker on our team would have been really nice too. So I guess one thing is just kind of coming to understand what each discipline brings to the table, and in our case, how difficult it can be when we don't have those available during the visit. And then what's like one other thing?
I mean, like meeting beforehand, like collaborating,
The
and
pre-visit.
organizing, being planned. Yeah, that helped a lot because we were trying to do that like in person on the spot. It would have been challenging for sure.
Visit was very helpful in organizing visit prior. Yeah, so kind of like the importance of having like a pre-discussion before the patient visit with like everyone, so that we can like do what we did today. Yeah. All right. So I'll like clean it up, and then I'll send everyone like the final draft. But I don't think it's gonna take long at all because we have this document. It's basically just pasting everything in. So all right.
And then the individual requirements, don't forget about those. It's like it's going to be actually 4 surveys because you have to do one for each team member that isn't you, then a team assessment, and then a post-visit interprofessional socialization and valuing scale. And I think that's the longest one. But don't forget about that. That's all the individual requirements. And Kevin, you were saying it's due end of March, right?
Yeah, it's like not due until
March 26th
26th.
or something like that.
Okay.
That's
Well,
the time.
I'm probably just gonna do it right now. But
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Good working with you guys.
Yep.
It was nice meeting you.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right.
you. Yep.